Hey, what up, YouTubers? It's your boy, the Visionary. Welcome to another episode of Firesidechats. Preludes. Alright, I got like 3 topics I want to talk about. Simple shit, current events, just to keep you updated. First topic I want to talk about the absence of gun control issue in the debates. We are currently in the election season, and the president, incoming president Barack Obama, is trying to get reelected for the presidency. He's running against Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan and yada yada yada. So as the debates that they're holding, to help the American people understand where each candidate stands on certain policies within the United States, I've noticed that there hasn't been enough of a discussion on gun control issue, on the gun control issue period, because this year, prior to what the hell has been going on, there have been a mass shootings of random incidences popping off. You had Milwaukee, you had Oklahoma, and surprisingly Oklahoma had 2 shootings, and then you had 2 more, I forgot exactly where, but these incidences have dredged up the old school debate between Republicans and people are pushing stricter gun control laws. And what it is that once those events occurred, each candidate, both Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, have touched upon it only slightly, and put it to the background and back burner. And I think it's very important to discuss this shit, because it's one of the things that they're going to keep pushing until more stricter gun laws get put into place, and then all of a sudden no one can get a gun for any reason unless you're like military or whatever. And I think that's a bad thing, because then that can lead into other things and yada yada, and that's a different discussion altogether. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Our second topic I want to talk about, there's this community, I think Morningside Heights, who have been debating, going back and forth on whether or not to name this particular street the George Carlin Way. Now, George Carlin is basically this comedian who died in like 2008. Very funny guy, like old but funny as hell. His early material wasn't that funny. It was, it had a certain flair to it, but I think after his wife died, he became more cynical, more pessimistic. And because of that, it kind of changed up his material, and sadly it made him more funny, because he became very anti-religious, because he was atheist. He was atheist before, but he expressed it more in his comedy. He's atheist, he's anti-government, anti-religion, anti-politics, big brother, stuff like that. And after he became like that, his material got so good, and he got more. He was better recognized in the stand-up field, in the stand-up world. So, this community where he grew up, like he spent a small part of his childhood, said, you know what, we want to rename this street to George Carlin, because we want people to remember who he was and what he did, and where he lived and stuff like that. I think that's pretty interesting, pretty cool. Look that up. Look up George Carlin. He's a really good comedian if you get the chance to. Third topic I want to talk about, Colombia. It seems Colombia has been in a war for the past 60 years, which I did not know. I originally thought it was something that had to do with Mexico, per se, because of the border, but it seems that a lot of the conflict, the major epicenter of the conflict in terms of the drug war itself, is happening in Colombia. They've been fighting this shit for like 50, 60 years. They haven't been able to get a good headway. It's basically between the DEA and the drug cartels in the U.S. and the Colombian government, and they haven't been able to do anything whatsoever. Recently there were like a number of arrests. 2 of them happened to be two girls who were the daughters of a certain you can call them a mafioso in the Colombian drug mafia, whatever the fuck you call them shits. And what it is that the DEA is trying to actually use them as pawns and trying to get some type of advantage over the drug cartels, which I don't think they're going to be able to do, because those people are like fucking crazy and fucked up and shit. And part of that spills over into Mexico, because a lot of their shit comes from Colombia, and the actual drug war that's happening in Mexico. And because of the fact that the DOJ put forward the whole the fuck is this shit called, the Fast and Furious bullshit with the guns and all that, because of that, that shit spilt over to Mexico, and all the weapons get pushed over to Colombia and other places and shit. And it's like, it's just one big fucking mess. I don't honestly think they're gonna be able to end anything unless they literally send a fucking army in there to like wipe everyone out. That's like the best way. Period. No, correction. That's the only way that I see that you're going to be able to end the drug war, because in and of itself, the Colombia drug scene in and of itself, they're their own fucking organization, their own army. They're pretty much their own government in and of themselves. They're not just some regular motherfucking Bloods and Crips and shit that you can go around and try to arrest. Nah, these niggas are serious and they're real. Alright, that's it for Fireside Chat Preludes.